Welcome back to the class. How are you all? How's going on? How's chapter is going on? I hope you all are doing very well. I hope you all are doing very nice. Exactly. So, how was the last session? Have you watched that last session which we have done? Good. I just want that my student just try to go with the flow. Okay, so my dear student, what chapter we are we were studying? Exactly. We were studying about fiber to fabric. And what we have studied in the last session, we have studied that what are the fabric, what are the fibers. We have discussed that what are the natural fibers, what are the synthetic fibers. Exactly. And in the natural fibers, what we have seen that the natural fibers are of the two types. One is the plant fibers and another one is the animal fiber. Exactly. The fibers which we are getting from the plants, we call them as the plant fibers. For example, can you imagine? Oh, sorry. What I was like talking like imagine. No, no. Can you tell me any of them? Like what could be the example of the plant fibers? So yeah, it is cotton, silk cotton, and hemp, jute, all of were there. Okay. So my dear students, what we are going to do today is that we are going to do like what we are going to do that we are going to find out that how we can produce the cotton and how we can produce the jute. So these are the steps and these are the processes which we are going to follow up. Okay. So you can see that first of all we learn about that how we can process the cotton. Okay, like what's the procedure for the cotton production, and second is the jute production. Exactly, student. But first of all, if I ask you that cotton and jute both are of which type of fiber, so you will say, ma'am, these are the natural fibers because we are getting it from nature, and the nature part we that is the plant. So my dear student, one question is very important here that okay, you are getting it from plant, but which part of the plant you are getting it from? So do you know what part of the plant? So exactly, we have studied this thing also in the last session. So the cotton we are getting from the flower part of it, and the jute we are getting from the stem part of it. Exactly, student. So that's how, student, we are going to first of all take out the cotton and jute from the plants, and how we are going to process it then we'll see, because what's the step is, do you remember? First is fiber, then fiber के बीच में yarn, and then yarn to fabric. So these are the three things, these are the three steps which we are going to follow. But before the yarn we have to, before the fiber part we have to see some of the things as well. Okay, so now we can start our topic. Good. Okay, so first of all is the cotton production, that how we are going to produce the cotton. So my dear students, as we can see that the cotton is the plant fiber. You can see that I can't mention it again and again because we have already seen that thing, that the cotton is the plant fiber. Exactly. अब बार बार तो याद करने की need नहीं है हमको, because we know this thing, the fibers which we are getting from plant, we are calling them as plant fiber. Okay. Actually, one question come in my mind. Should I ask you? See, if we are having plant fiber, so we are having animal fiber. So can you guess any name of the animal fiber? So it would be wool, which we are getting from sheeps. Exactly, sheeps. Actually, what happened with me that sometime I jumbled up sheep and sheep. So I have to very focus at that point. Like I'm telling sheep or I'm talking about ship. So it's like sheeps are there for the wool. So from we get wool from sheep, and like silk we get from silkworm. But my dear students, if you know that nowadays we are having alternative of silk that we called as the artificial silk. That's the rayon. So okay, these all are the advancement, or you can say that I'm just enhancing your knowledge. So what we are going to do today is, see, we are going to do that what is the cotton production. So my dear student, like in the last session, in the picture also you have seen that the cotton balls are there. Okay, and the cotton balls are present over it, and what we do that we plug out the cotton plant from there. So you can see raw cotton balls are first of all there. Exactly, which we get from the plant only. That's the cotton plant. Now student, after getting that cotton plant, what we do the ginning process. So just remember what is the ginning. Ginning is the cleaning process. That means whatever the unwanted particles, whatever the unwanted seeds are present in the cotton balls, we just remove it, okay, so that it will not create any problem in the formation of the fabric. So that's how first of all we clean it, the cleaning of the cotton balls. Then we are getting that fiber, and then we convert it into cotton into yarn. That means from here the spinning process is there now. And in the spinning process, what we do that the cotton into the yarn, that means fiber into the yarn. And then we are having two different type of procedure, one is the weaving and another one is the knitting, and we convert that yarn into the fabric. So this is the whole procedure for the production of the cotton. And after conversion into the fabric, we can use this cotton, and like then we supply these cotton to industries, and that's how industries work on it, and that's how they produce the different type of clothes from it. Exactly, student. And you have already seen this thing, like even though if in your houses, if your mother is going to purchase a sari, the sari's length is very big, exactly, very large actually. But students, it's not only like only if I know that the saris which we are getting, they are very long in size, exactly. But it is also that, student, if they are long in size, so they you can see one more thing, that the pura jo matlab, we can say that the whole production of that cloth is having more amount of fabric in it. That means there are the large roll present in that. So that large roll is are of, like, I can't say that how much long they are. So that's a student, and after cutting them into the pieces, we get the size of that clothes, and that's how we stitch it, okay. So that's the procedure, students. So where we are getting, where like the first is the cotton, then we pluck that out cotton balls from the cotton plant, and first of all we clean all of them. After the cleaning process, we do the spinning process, and that's how we do that the cotton into the yarn, that means weaving of yarn into the fabric. So that's how, student, we get the procedure. Okay, so first of all, it is the ginning process, student. Now, see, we have taken the cotton plant. See, not taken that the cotton plant is there, and from that cotton plant, students, what I'm getting cotton balls. Okay, now that cotton balls contain some unwanted particles. Some unwanted particle is there, and I need to clean it. Exactly, I need to clean it, and that cleaning process is called as the ginning process. So the cleaning of wool so that the unwanted particles can remove from it, so we call it as the ginning process. So ginning, cleaning, so just make a kind of rhyme with it, that is the ginning is the cleaning of wool. Exactly, student. Dekho, I can take one of the example, like whenever we bought vegetables from the market, so first of all we clean them. Exactly. So wherever we are getting cotton, or even though in the jute process also, whether we are getting any fiber, first of all we need to clean it, because they are present in the open atmosphere and they are having so many unwanted particles. So that's how we don't require that unwanted particles, and that is the cleaning of wool has been done. Like in this picture, you can see that this man is using this machine and he is continuously rotating it, and you can see that he is applying some of the cotton over there and he is rotating it, and after that some of the seed particles are going down here. Exactly, you can see. So these are the unwanted seeds or the unwanted particles which is present in the cotton ball. So he is doing the ginning process, and we call it as the cleaning of wool. And here, see, here we are getting the clean wool. Clean wool, okay. That means now this wool doesn't contain any of the particle, like unwanted particles. So this is the process, we call it as the ginning. As you can see here, like you can observe it very clearly that he is putting the wool here, he's putting the cotton here. Oh my god, I have written it as wool. Just give me a second, otherwise my student will say that what ma'am is saying, that she's teaching us cotton and she's mentioning it as wool. So it's a cotton. So don't don't worry about it, it's just the cotton process. And you can see that this person is just applying the cotton here, and the unwanted particle has been removed from here. And I'm so sorry, student, that how many times I have said, like I was talking about wool, so it was only about the cotton, so please ignore it. It happens sometime, okay. So it's a cotton process now. Okay, now the cleaning has been done. After cleaning, what we have to do, we go to the process spinning. Now what's the spinning, students? Spinning, as I already told you, this thing, Spinning is a process when the clean cotton is going to be converted into the yarn. Okay, so this is called as the spinning process. And you know that the what the yarn is, that first of all we get the fiber that are the thread like structure, then we some kind weave them and we get some kind of sheet, we called it as yarn, and then we further process it, then we called it as the fabric. So that's the spinning process. So first of all, in the spinning, the clean cotton is converted into the fiber and then fiber to yarn. Okay, so that's how students, the spinning process has been done by using these two, we can say that two instrument. One is the takli, this is called as the takli. Okay, and this is called as the charkha. So if I ask you about charkha, where you have seen this charkha, like from where you, like you are very, you can say it's a very common, or I can say it is generally present in national pic. So this is the Charkha, students. You have seen it with more in the case of the Mahatma Gandhi. Exactly that, the pics of the Mahatma Gandhi, which we have seen, the father of our nation. So we can say that the we have seen that Charkha. So this Charkha is used for the spinning process. Now students, when we are having clean cotton, so we have to convert it into the fiber part so that we can prepare the fabric. So we use the charkha and we have to rotate it, is like you, I don't know how many times we have to rotate it. So that's how students, you can see that if from here it is the rotator, it is the rotator. Okay, and by rotating it continuously, these are the threads going on, and here are the, you can say these are the, it is the rotating part of it. So it rotates, and that's how you can get the, you can say, after conversion of the fiber to yarn, you are getting some of kind like what I can say, roll of it. Okay, roll of it. So that's the charkha. Now coming to the takli, you will say that ma'am, you are talking about only charkha, now what is about takli? So yes student, this is the takli. You can see the shape of it is very different. It's a kind of this thing, and we have to, like what we can do is like either we can just rub it like that so that it can move here and there, and you can see that this is how the thread which is present over here. So it what happened, like when you rotate it, so the thread gets rolled over it. So that's how you can get the bundle of it, or you can say that the roll of it. So that's how you form the cotton and the, like you can say, you can form the fiber of the cotton into the yarn. Now that yarn is further processed to form the fabric. Now for the formation of, like you can say, for the formation of the yarn to the fabric, students, we require two methods, yarn to fiber. That first is the weaving method, and second is the knitting method. And see student, if you see that the knitting method is very common, like in even in our houses we have seen the knitting part, that we are having the fabric of wool and we get that fabric in the form of the cotton, like that is the roll kind of thing, and that's how our grandmother used to knit it by using some kind of sticks. So that's the knitting process, student. So these are the two processes which we can use, and we can convert the yarn into the fabric by using these two processes. Okay, so can we see that processes? Yeah, so it's the first one we are going to study. It is the weaving. So my dear student, from this picture, if you can see that this lady is using this ice cream stick, and she has put one of the thread here over in this ice cream stick, and one by one she is weaving that. Okay, like from here to here she is weaving, and now she will pull it out, and when she will pull it out, this thing, so the thread will get weaved into it. So you can see student that the weaving is done thread by thread, like means one by one you have to like you have to weave the thread over it, and that's how you get the full piece of that particular fiber. So that's how this is called as the fabric, because fabric is a complete sheet of it from which you can stitch your clothes in different form. Okay, so that's the process of the weaving, student. You can see easily, like the stick is moving here, now she will pull it out, and that's how this thread will go here. And you can see the another layer, like the another thread has been added to this. So this is the weaving process, students. Okay, so this is the first process which we use for the yarn to fabric. That is the weaving process. And you can see, student, that the weaving in the, if I talk about industries, even though student that I have already told you that the saris are of very large length. So to convert that saris, like we say, we are having the very huge roll of that sari. So that huge roll of sari has been prepared in the industries. You can imagine that we can't prepare that long sari, na? So what you can see, like if we start weaving it with this method, like the sari part, so how much time it is going to take, because sari is of long size. So that's why we need to have some kind of instrument. So students, in the industry at the large scale production, there is the looms. Looms are the instruments which we use for the weaving process. Okay, so I'll just show you that loom. See, this is the loom. Weaving is done by using loom. So you can see, student, that one cloth has been tied up here. The threads are present over here, and this is moving. You can say that it is moving here and there. See, upward, downward, and backward and forward kind of thing. So due to this, students, what will happen? One by one thread is going to be weaved in it, and when one by one thread is going to be weaved in it, so what will happen, student? We are getting a complete piece of cloth, and when we getting the complete piece of that fabric, then we can use it in our like in our own way. So this is the loom kind. This is called as the loom instrument, whole instrument, or you can say that the whole apparatus, not apparatus, apparatus, apparatus nahi. It is a complete machine kind of thing, you can say, which we use for the looms. And generally the looms is used for the sari making in the large industries, because student, not only saris, even though student like our shirt cloth, so and the clothes which we buy from the market, so that we can stitch them on our condition. So that's how we get it in the form only. And even those students, like what happened in the industries, first of all they make the similar kind of the fabric, and after that they will cut into the pieces and they convert it into the clothes, like by stitching process, by using different style. So first of all, students, what you have seen in the production of cotton, first of all you have to plug the cotton ball. Exactly, if you are not going to plug it, so how you are going to produce the cotton? Because what we require good quality cotton. So cotton we are going to plug it out. After that we are going to clean it, and that clean process, what we called it is ginning process. After the cleaning of the wool, what we did, we converted into the yarn, and that process is called as the spinning. And spinning is done by two of the things, one is the takli and another one is the charkha. After converting into the yarn, students, what we are going to do, yarn into fabric. Now fabric has been done by the two method. First is the weaving method, for which we are using the looms at the large condition also. And even though you can because I have seen this thing in some kind of serial, I guess, but I don't remember the name right now. So that's how you can use these looms are used for the weaving process. And another one is the knitting, and knitting is very common, student. I guess you have seen in your house also, because I have seen my grandmother, and even though I am having like 2 or 3 sweaters which she has knit from her hand and knitted from her hand, and I am wearing them. So like I wear them and they are very good quality, and so that's how the knitting we have seen in our houses as well. So yeah, this is the knitting process. So this is the, you can say, second process which we use to convert yarn into fabric. Yarn into fabric. So this is the second process, is knitting. And see, student, if I say that what is the knitting, so student, you can see that we are having threads, and we kind of weave them by using the stick. You can see that this woman is using the stick and she is knitting that. So that's how student knitting has been done. And I don't know that what to call that stick in English. I can know that is in Hindi it called as silai. If you know that, you can ask to your grandmother or to your mother who knows about knitting. What happened as student, like nowadays we are having so kind of cool environment, we just go to the shops and we just buy it, okay, like woolen clothes and any other type of clothes. But student, like before, if I talk about 20 years before or 30 years before, people generally knit the sweaters at their home. Like even though that's why our grandmother, our mother know about the knitting process. But if you talk about me, and then should I know about this thing? No, I don't know how to knit these sweaters or something like that. So that is why student knitting is a very old kind of process which is generally going on from I don't know from when, because I have seen my grandmother doing this thing and I am wearing those type of sweaters. So these are the two method. One is the weaving and one is the knitting. What happens student, in the weaving part we go thread by thread, exactly, but in the knitting student we take threads and we just start weaving them with the help of the sticks. So that is the knitting process and that was the weaving process. Now we have convert our cloth into the that fiber into the fabric. Now this fabric can be used for the clothing purpose. Okay, either you can, first of all you can convert them into a large kind of piece, into kind of the rolls, and then you can cut them into the small pieces and then you can stitch the cloth whatever design you want. So that's the cotton production. Fine students. So one is the knitting process, one is the weaving process. Okay, so students, we have done the cotton production. So the cotton production has been done and you just have to remember that first of all plug the cotton ball, then clean it, then convert that fiber, that the thread part, into the yarn, and that yarn convert into the fabric by the fabric. And the two processes there, one is the weaving, one is the knitting, and after getting the fabric you can use it in your own way. Okay, now I just want to tell you about the jute production. But see student, jute we are not getting from the cotton like in the form of the cotton balls, like we are getting cotton in the form of the plants, now that from the flower plant from it, but the jute we get from the bark of that tree, bark or either from the stem part. So that is the jute production, but we get it only from the jute plant. Okay, so my dear students, if I say that it is the stem, bark or something like that, so what happens student, when we collect those stem, bark of the jute plant, so these stems and the barks are having some sticky kind of material over it. Sticky material is there. So to convert that jute into a good quality of jute, we have to remove the sticky material. So first of all, remove it. See, now the same process has come now, like the cleaning of the jute is going on. Cleaning of jute is going on because we don't require that sticky material. So for that, what we did, we saw that stem and barks into the water. Keep it into the water at least for 3 to 4 days. So what will happen student, that the sticky material is going to be removed and this whole process is called as the retting. Like if someone asks you what is retting, so you can say that the retting is the process in which the stems or the bark of the jute is kept into the water for 3-4 days so that the sticky material can remove it. We call it as the retting process. Okay, so when we done this thing, like when the sticky substance gets separated from it, so we get it in the form of the jute. Now that jute can be used for the further process, like making the jute bags, jute what I can say, jute bags and jute kind of. I have seen a car. Oh, sorry. What we say, doormat is also there, and jute is also used up in like ropes. Jute ropes we have used, but nowadays students we are very much focusing over the synthetic fibers. But jute ropes were there, and even though one kind of bed which we called, I don't remember what we called that, and even though and we have like I have found that kind of thing in villages. Okay, so this is the jute process student. I'll show you one video. But jute bags, like why I'm focusing so much over the jute bags? Because my dear students, like whenever you go for shopping or something like that in your mall, so what you get paper bag, but the weight is very less for it. But if you are going to buy something which is heavy in nature, so what you do, like you carry the plastic bags. Like my dear student, plastic is not good for the environment. So stop using cotton, start using the jute bags. So that's why jute is very important for the production. That is why you are studying the production of jute in your class 6th, and cotton is very common thing. So that is why these two production is right now in your syllabus. Okay, so do you want to see one of the video related to it? Should I show you? Okay, so just a minute, I'll just show you that video. Yeah, so here this video is. Can you see now? Can you see my screen? Will you say that? What mom is saying? Can you see now? Okay, so you can see. I know this thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm playing this. Start with our topic.
jute production from the chapter fiber to fabric. Now we start with jute production. This is a jute plant which grows 6 feet to 10 feet in height. Jute bags, rope.
See student, what she's telling to you, just remember this thing that the jute plant which we are having, we can like it grows from 6 feet to 10 feet. Okay.
Mats, etc. are all made of jute. Jute, like cotton, is a plant product that is a natural fiber. Jute as a fiber is very strong and can be used to make sacks for packing and storing grains. How is jute produced? The jute fiber is obtained from the stem of jute plant. Jute grows well.
See students, like someone can ask you that how jute is obtained. So you can say from the stem of the jute plant we get the jute. Exactly. So you can see it here.
All different types of soils from clay to sandy, it grows well in alluvial soil. Jute grows well in regions where it rains a lot. The jute plant is harvested at the flowering stage. Farmers separate the stems from rest of the plant. Jute fibers obtained from the bark of plants are naturally glued together by a sticky substance. To remove the sticky substance, the stems are kept immersed in water for a few days. After a few days, the fibers are loosened and are extracted. This process of rotting the stems of plants in water to remove the sticky substance and separate
So see student, have you seen that they have take out the stems from there and that is having the sticky substance. So they are keeping that stem into the water for 3-4 days and after they are after they are taking them out and you can see that the fiber is losing and we are getting the jute fiber. And now that jute fiber can be used for the further process. That's how for the preparation of bags or something like that. So you can use that jute then. Okay, so that's how student you can get the jute production. Fine. So my dear students, like what we have done in this class, we have seen that how we are going to produce the cotton and how we are going to produce the jute. So it's like that student that first of all you should know that the fiber is a thread kind like of structure and then we convert this fiber into the yarn by combining all of them and after the yarn we get the fabric and that fabric is a kind of the complete sheet that we use for the clothing purpose. So that's how student we get from the fiber to fabric and we have seen we are having natural fibers and the synthetic fiber and the synthetic fiber is not in your syllabus so you don't have to be worried about that. It's just that what you have to think that what are the plant fibers and in that you are getting cotton, jute, hemp, flax, coir. Do you remember what is the coir is? Coir? We get this coil from the coconut hair. You can say that this is a coconut hair type of thing and we can't use this fabric for our clothes. Exactly. So you can imagine that every fabric can't be used for the production of clothes. Exactly. So that's how student we have seen like how can the cotton can be produced, how can the jute can be produced. So that question can be this type like from what part of the plant you are getting cotton. So it is the cotton balls we are getting from the flower part of the plant. If someone asks you what is the ginning, so ginning is a cleaning process of the cotton. What is retting? The removal of the sticky material from the stem or the bark of that jute. We call it as the rating process. So that's how student you can give the answer of these chapters of this chapter and that's how we are covering up all of this chapter and please look at all of these videos very clearly and my dear student if you find any difficulty any question comes to your mind you can post your question over the public forum and the private forum and you will definitely get your answer and that's how we'll complete all syllabus. Okay, thank you very much.